live video today. I feel terrible. I also hate that people who don't know me, they haven't known me my entire life. The only me they've seen is me from 2016 through 2021, and they think they know me or whatever. They don't know me. You just saw me at my worst, and that's the only time you've ever seen me. And you didn't even try to go find out anything about me, I think another thing is, no, I'm not gonna go there. I'm such a jackass. I feel so bad. I'm such a shitbag. I'm sorry, guys. I just feel guilt, sometimes. Well, yeah, I feel guilt. Yeah, a lot, actually. I was just gonna live stream, just me rambling and talking, but I kind of lost what I was gonna talk about. Probably women. That's usually what I talk about the most. Oh yeah, I like to reminisce on things, and I really especially like to reminisce about past times that I had, like back in the day. Growing up, especially partying. I'm not gonna mention. I'm gonna leave names out of this video, but I used to party at this one house, and there was lots of chicks there, and it was just every single night, me and all my friends, we would go there, and it was always awesome, always. And there was always everybody's out in the street. There's cars racing up and down the road. People are standing outside smoking cigarettes. They got their beer. They're smoking joints. Like everybody's just, there's a huge commotion in the streets. I'm baffled that the cops never really messed with. It's a shame that the authorities hear me talking about these things over the phone in confidence to people like my family or whoever, and they're like, they literally did this to me, and they were eavesdropping with Metasploit. When I try to just piss off people I used to know just to make them hate me. That's exactly what they did, man. They spread hate, they spread slander. But I don't even want to get on that topic because it just makes me mad. I prefer to stay on the topic of women. Reminiscing though, I don't want to I don't know. I'm always sharing stories about past sexual encounters, and that might be a bit inappropriate. I don't know. Women have been my favorite part about life on planet Earth. But only until recently did I start to feel disappointed by them not altogether, but as a whole. It's just hard to find a good woman. That's all. Like a really high quality woman. One that doesn't want to be the boss and try to control you. That's what I'm talking about. That is hard to find. And yeah, those women are like gold. The ones that don't do that. They submit to their husbands. They're soft. They're like a beautiful flower. And I was just thinking about going to Wendy's on a date. How that's some people might think that's offensive or something. I don't. I think it's just regular, ordinary people stuff. And it's it's a nice thing to do, but it's not over the top. You know what I mean? It's not here's a $120 bouquet of flowers, and we're going to go to a 5-star restaurant on our first date. I don't really know anything about you at all, but I'm just going to completely kiss your butt. You know what I mean? That's not really the way. Part of the reason that I mostly get to second is just lots of reasons, because I've been a lot of my life I didn't even have a job. So there's, you know what I mean? Especially growing up. So just that, not having a car, having lots of friends that cock blocked me routinely. I'm not I don't feel let down or anything. I'm fine with that. Yeah, I think closer to 1. I think my body count's maybe 5, and I'm okay with that. I don't feel like it's inadequate or anything. You know what I mean? Like that's not, what's the big deal? Like let's see, I'm almost 40. That's like, a chick every 10 years. That's not so what? So what? And when you take all the second bases in there, it's like shit. It might be like one every 10 years, but with all the second bases, it's like, there's some action there. You know what I mean? Besides, I really like making out. It's almost like its own thing or something. It's a very artistic thing. It is very artistic. It's a very fascinating concept. Yeah, making out's great. I love making out with chicks. I've made out with a lot of chicks in my day. A lot of chicks. Mostly at, I'm not going to say his name, but dude's house. Yeah. He always had chicks there. It was like chick heaven. I'm not going to say his name. Oh, yeah. It was. One time I came over there and a topless chick came up and gave me a hug. I didn't even know who she was. I didn't even know this. We were all the same age. This was when I was young, like 18 through 21. Literally, this was before I was 21. This was back in the late, like when like senior year of high school up to 21. Well, probably further than that, but those years, yeah, like 18, 19, 20, 21, those years. The most alcohol that I've ever consumed was from the ages of 18, 19, and 20. That's the most alcohol that I've ever consumed. And I used to buy alcohol underage. I was very skilled at doing it. And it wasn't hard. I just told myself, like, either they're going to sell it to me or they're not going to sell it to me. And I would just go in, and the way I would do it is I would grab the Old English, put down on the counter. I would count out the exact change to the penny, slide it over, and be like, all right, thanks, and just grab it and walk off. And if you do it real quick, they don't. If you hang around, they might card. What am I doing? Teaching people underage kids how to. I shouldn't be saying that. I'm just really what I'm doing is I'm sharing a story of something I did when I was underage. I need to put a disclaimer out there. I'm not trying to like teach kids how to get alcohol underage. I'm just talking about something I did. But yeah, and I became known as the beer guy. People come to me, other underage, like people like me, my age, not old enough to drink, would come to me like, hey, can you get me some alcohol? And other people would be like, you're not 21. Like, yeah, I know. Like, how do you? They just sell it to me. Like, it's a skill I got. I don't know. I can teach anybody how to do it. You just set it down, count out the exact change, and just leave real quick. Don't hang around. If you wait, don't sit there and look at them like, aren't you going to card me? No, don't do that. Just be like, yeah, I'm 21. Slide it up there and walk off. If you do it quick enough, they won't mess with you. Well, I shouldn't be. I don't mean it like I'm trying to teach you. I'm just talking about how I did it. Oh, also, one time, me and my friend, what we would do is I worked at the gas station. And he was my friend. So what we would do is he would just talk like, hey, man, I'm going to come in today and buy some beer. I shouldn't even, what am I doing? I'm like, hey, internet, I did all this illegal stuff my whole life. If anybody wants to know about it. I know, I am crazy. Like, no wonder they're, you know what I mean? No wonder the DEA tried to bait me with 400 kilos of kratom. Man, I had $25,000 sitting at the foot of my bed way before that kratom that showed up in 2018, and it was legitimately too. It was fronted to me, and I made payments on it to a guy named Harry in Indonesia. I paid him, but he was like, it kind of pissed me off though. I was a little insulted because he sent me bunk product, and then he was like hurrying me for money. And it's like, well, dude, first of all, you offered this. You offered it. Of course, I'm going to take it. I told you straight up, like just don't expect it to pour. It comes consistently, but it's at the rate that it's at. And the reason why is because of just because I don't want to like overset, you know what I mean? I didn't want to tell them like to expect something and then, it fluctuate. What I did was I told him I tried to make it sound like it was going to be a little less than what I expected it to be. So he wouldn't be disappointed. So you know what I mean? So I kind of downplayed about how quickly I thought it would be moving, just in case, just so he wouldn't be disappointed, and just in case, it fluctuates. But yeah, that was an interesting time. And then after a while, I was like, I just kept buying kratom kilos too. Even though I had 25 kilos at the foot of my bed, I kept buying them. I'd buy like 1 to 3. That's all you need. It really is. You don't need 400 kilos. It's just, it's like this whole thing. Like, I need more. You don't. Just keep buying 3 over and over. Just keep buying 3 kilos at a time or whatever. Just get it small, and you'll make an insane amount of money on kratom. Yeah. Yeah, it was really cool. I'm so sorry. I was just thinking to myself, wow, I mean, I'm on here trying to talk to the world. I need to be talking to y'all. Yeah. I found some pictures of me and Carrie in my email recently. And also, I was looking and I was like, damn, I was looking at all these just pathetic emails that I was sent her. I'm the one that ended it, right? And then she wound up blocking me because we were just all we were doing was pissing each other off, talking shit back and forth. And so she just eventually blocked me. I'm like, whatever. She kind of did me a favor, but I kept sending her these emails over and over because I was fucking miserable. You know, she just basically just swooped me in, you know, like pumped me all full of love, and then was like, "Oh, I'm actually a bitch. Sorry to disappoint you." And I shouldn't say that. I'm not mad at her at all. I don't mean any harm or ill anything. I'm just saying. I shouldn't have even said that though. I was saying it kind of jokingly, like lightheartedly though. But yeah, just I don't know. It's, I don't want to even say that. I feel bad. You know, I'm just saying that there were like deal breakers that she didn't tell me about, and they came out later. I shouldn't be talking about that. That's all I do is talk about that shit. Anyway, what else can I talk about? I don't know. I just like to talk about shit. I don't know. Well, I just got me some legal cannabis products, and you know, I got me a good buzz going, and I just it cannabis makes me social. And since I'm sitting here by myself, I thought I would just put out a video and just ramble because I talk to, you know, I'm talking to myself in my head. You know, I got family in there, but they asleep. Anyway, what to talk about? I need to tell a story. I'm gonna try and just make use of my YouTube these last days and just like pump out as much content every day. I'm just gonna talk to y'all, to whoever's listening. I don't know. I'm gonna post it on my thing. Yeah, I think reminiscing is healthy. I like looking back. I just can't believe everything has been like. I really have had a great for for somebody who's poor and has been poor and not. I've had the most fun I've ever like. It's just been a blast. I cannot believe how good of a time I've had without having tons of money and stuff. Like, you know, like I was, and in fact, the years of my life that were the most fun were also the most broke. Very interestingly, but unfortunately, like somebody has to pay for the party. I was lucky to have friends that were like, you know, there's plenty of fun around. But no, when I started smoking weed though, I made sure to have a job because you know I had to have some green. But there was a lot of years that I went without a job, and I solely relied on my friends to consume cannabis. I couldn't, you know, every now and then I'd muster up some 10, 20, $30 out of something, like sell something or, you know, whatever. But most of the time, yeah, people they'd share with me. That was one of my favorite pastimes. Me and my friends, we would ride around and smoke marijuana and listen to really cool music. And just like, man, it was cool as shit. It was the coolest. I mean, I'm talking though, like my memories though, for like first smoking, I'm not gonna say his name, but with my friend, man, did I ever get stoned. But he was kind of a dick about it though. You know, he was like that peer pressure dick. You know, he's like, just hold it in, man, talking shit, being an ass. They take a big ass shit and hold it in for 30 seconds. I'm like, I'm not holding that in for 30 seconds, motherfucker. I'm gonna hold it in for 2 and then I'm gonna blow it out. And then I'm gonna catch my breath and I'm gonna chill. And I'm gonna be higher than shit. I don't need to hold that shit in for 30 seconds. Don't tell me to do that. That's not nice, actually. In fact, I would never recommend that anybody do that. Don't do that. If you never smoked marijuana before, do not take a big ass hit and hold it in for 30 seconds. Do not listen to these assholes. You will be hyperventilating in a brown paper bag. Don't do that shit. Even if it's indica, I don't care. Whew, I gotta catch my breath. I'm gonna talk. I'm now blah, 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 blah. It's a red thing, red thing. I don't mean anything by that. Don't overthink it. Man, I feel good. Oh yeah, I want to talk. I've been thinking a lot. Like I've learned so much too over the years, and there's something that I learned. I think the secret to attractiveness is if you're a woman, it's embracing being soft, and if you're a man, it's embracing being hard, not in a toxic way, but not too much either. Because if you're a man, you don't want to go overboard with it. Like you need not, you know what I mean? You don't want to be toxically masculine. That's ugh. But you don't want to be a pussy. When it comes to dealing with women, it's like, you know, you got to be selective. Stay away from the ones that drain you. Take it slow with the ones you respect. And yeah, you know. Yeah, I was just thinking about all kinds of stuff. I was also thinking earlier about how, like, you know, I had this dream one time to become a millionaire. Well, I was on my way to becoming a millionaire, and I got my toe stomped on by a bunch of neo Nazis and Freemasons, the DEA and FBI and stuff. They're a loser, but whatever. But yeah, I was thinking about it. If that had happened to me, though, I wouldn't have been happy. I don't think, because it would have been like, you know, now I have to, now I'm like, I got to find out if this chick is using me or not. You know, that because I didn't have you. There's nothing you could use me for. I mean, what are you going to use me for? A Wendy's meal? You gonna bum a cigarette off me? You know what I mean? Ain't no woman gonna hook up with you for something that. Oh, you're gonna take me out to Wendy's? Okay, and maybe she'll get a free meal, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna be used if you're a regular, ordinary ass person that's not balling, not a millionaire. And the people that you're hanging out with are going to be a lot less narcissistic. It probably would have been very bad. I would have been around some gorgeous babes, but I would have suffocated because there would have been no fresh air. There'd have been very little to no good women. And I just can't handle that narcissism shit. I can't handle that shit. Even if it doesn't matter if they're fine, I just cannot handle it. Because I'm not a narcissist. That's the point. Narcissists and people who have empathy do not mix. You can't do that. You got to separate. You got to keep them separated. Like the Offspring song. You got to keep them separated. You know, you can't, like, good and evil are like oil and water. They don't mix. They must be separated. They will not dissolve into one another. They'll separate. They'll merge apart. You know what I mean? I talk a lot. I talk too much. Man, that kratom shit. That was sent. Yeah, they did. They definitely did some witchcraft with that shit. Absolutely, somebody did. Somebody did some fucking witchcraft. I can tell you that right now. No, it's not psychosis. It was witchcraft. I sounded like a basket case. You know what pisses me off? Is those mother. They knew, and they were like all trying to get off on it. They're not emboldened anymore. They're they're not emboldened anymore. Everybody knows what they're doing. I'm gonna take a little bit of passion flower herb. It will amplify the effects of the illegal cannabis that I've consumed here. Oh yeah, it's very interesting stuff. So I tell you guys about the time I was pagan. Once upon a time, I became a pagan. I didn't set out to do it, but when I started working with Bouncing Bear and I was like reading all this content on his website and writing about it and stuff and learning about it and writing about it, I found it very fascinating and I became very interested in it. So I started learning about the shit. And man, it's like the most fascinating thing that I have ever learned about in my entire life. It just intrigues me to the core. I just couldn't get enough of it. I was addicted to it. And it took me a minute, but I eventually realized that shamanism is witchcraft. And I just kind of accepted it, really. I knew it looked bad, but I was like, whatever. I know that sounds weird. I guess I'm kind of stupid sometimes. Really stupid. I am. I'm really fucking stupid. I'm like my own worst enemy. I get myself into all kinds of trouble, but I have so much fun doing it. I've never had so much fun. A lot of trouble, though. But a lot of fun doing it. It was so cool. I'm just breaking up some passion. I'm so sorry to all the women that when I was all freaking out, having that hard time, and back in 2022. Well, I could feel their hate, and it was, it wasn't helping. But yeah, I'm sorry about everything, y'all. Let me take this real quick, guys. I'm not gonna say his last name, but my friend Mike from back in the day, he was a cool guy, man. I really like that guy. No homo. He was cool because he was like this gangsta ass player, but he wasn't a bitch. He didn't hate you or anything, and he just like he had this. He always had a smile on his face. He was a ladies' man. This dude was a ladies' man. Okay, he was a fucking player, and he was always cool as shit. Like, and it was his house, man. I just thought that guy was so cool. I just wanted to like give me a high five, dude. Damn, I like you, man. You're a cool dude. He was cool. I like that guy. But yeah, he liked me too. In a non-gay way. It was just like, Scott, what's up, man? It was just the vibes that everybody had back then. Everybody loved everybody, you know? There was lots of love and very little hate. Times have changed, though. Now there's lots of hate and very little love. It's quite disturbing, to tell you the truth. But yeah, it's sobering, for sure. Certainly a buzzkill sometimes. Hello to whoever's listening. How are you? I've been talking about all kinds of cool stuff. I was talking about the time I became pagan, and I was talking about how when I was working for Bouncing Bear Botanicals and I would put up the content, I became interested in it. I was incredibly fascinated and intrigued by it, and I started just learning all about shamanism stuff, and I started to notice that like the shamanism thing and the different pagan traditions, it's all kind of the same basic concepts. Lots of charms, lots of amulets, lots of sigils, astrology, numerology, all the typical occult stuff. After a while, you kind of put two and two together. It's all the same. It's coming from the same source. It's all being divined from the same source. You know what I mean? Like by divine, right? Like as in divination, divined. Yeah, divination was a fascinating pagan concept, but divination is like the enemy's prophecy. So these days I'm intrigued by prophecy, but yeah, it was really interesting stuff. Because it has this kind of Native American kind of vibe to it. I really like it. Yeah, the enemy tried to rip me off. It's cool how life turned out, and like I went through this whole curse and met this chick and made a bunch of money and kratom. And now I'm a whistleblower, and I was an informant for the FBI. I had web pages on the first page of Google. I have a Grey Hat Laboratory software page. It's like when I sit back and just like go over all the stuff that I've done, a badass, and I'm like, I can't believe that I ever. It's like, see, this is what this is. Was an attack on my self-esteem and my business and my life and just everything, my mojo, all of it. The enemy just came after everything. I went to the danger zone. I mean, I would be afraid if I was ever like out, with like enemy aircraft going overhead and gunfire. I would be absolutely petrified. I'm not gonna lie. In that situation, I would be a pussy. I would be brave, but I would feel like I'm like the biggest pussy. Like I'm scared. I don't want to die. I don't want to get shot. I don't want to get blown up. So those guys are tough. They're tough as fuck. They're a lot tougher than I am. I can't do a push-up. So yeah, they have my respect in that regards. And by no means am I trying to act like I'm tougher than them physically, or at least like that. But I've been to the spiritual danger zone, though. I've been to that battlefield, and it was rough. And I got PSTD from it, which is interesting because it reminds me of like veterans, you know? It's like I can empathize when I feel like something similar, except not, you know, more of like a spiritual veteran. I'm retired right now and under the protection of the Most High, trying to catch my breath, you know, simmer down, calm down, get regrouped, reorganized, refreshed, renewed, restored, back to cherry, you know. Anyway, I really enjoy talking. I'm gonna post this video so hard everywhere. It's gonna be great. I love everybody. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry to everybody who only got to see me in 2016 through 2021. I wish that they could have knew me before that. I was a really mellow, fun guy. Really mellow. So peaceful. So, you know, very gentle and peaceful, not aggressive at all. Yeah, Carrie in 2016 through 2021 changed me. I will never ever, and I don't hate them at all. In fact, I find them intriguing, and the ones that are really attractive are like the best, but they're extremely dangerous. And I would absolutely recommend that you just stay the hell away from them and crack open the spiritual warfare manual of the Bible and, you know, figure some stuff out. I sounded like kind of a dork at times, but you know, that's okay. Sometimes I'm a dork. It's okay. I'm a badass, but sometimes, you know, it's all good though. I'm okay with that. I look forward to spreading this message too and posting it on social media. I've been watching other YouTubers lately, and I've been felt quite inspired. And I also wanted to, like, it makes me want to bring some contribution to the YouTube algorithm that's not so depressing. It's not so depressing. And I just feel guilty a lot. You know, these last years I've been, what's the word? I've been in repentance. And I've also been like reminiscing about babes from the past, and it's cool. It's cool. It's like going over a timeline style memory chart of your life. What's the word I'm looking for? It's like, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Timeline style. Just going over your life timeline style, you know, and you're looking at all the accomplishments, like your best moments. When you were at your best, when you were on top of the world, you know, when you were surfing the wave of life, you were surfing that bitch. You were nailing it. You were like, yeah, surf's up, dude. You know, you're really killing it. It was a badass wave. It was a badass wave. That was a good one. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I got a lot of them, man. It makes me just want to write a book, even just for the thrill of like just reminiscing about everything and go into in as much detail as possible on the stories as well. I think I want to continue to just talk like this and share stories. I want to just share my whole life. I don't want to write it though, but I'm just going to do this. I'm going to post it on. But yeah, back in the day, I used to have this friend, Mike. I'm not going to say his last name. I used to party it over his house. He was a total player. He was so cool. He always had a smile on his face. He never hated on any other guy. He was so friendly. I'm not trying to sound gay or anything. I just thought, this is not a gay thing, but he really was a cool dude. Like, that guy was cool as fuck. I just, you know what I mean? I'm sure there's a lot of guys out there that hated him, but I didn't. It's like, dude, I want to be your friend. You are cool. And women love you. Damn, did they love that guy. They loved his ass. I mean, every time I saw him, he had a different girl and a bottle of champagne. I'm like, damn, you are a pimp. Holy shit. How does he do it? And he was like that too. Like he would you'd see him with a girl, and you'd see him with a different girl in Publix, and he'd have like a bottle of champagne and some spaghetti sauce, and he'd have this big smile on his face. Every time we saw him, he had a smile on his face. Every time. Yeah, he was cool. But we used to go over to his house all the time, every single night, and a whole bunch of people, and we partied. And the mom was there, the mom was there, and she didn't care. She partied too. And we smoked weed, and everybody, we had cigarettes, and people were in the house and out of the house. And there was occasionally topless chicks there as well. There were topless chicks, yes. That's what I mean. Like, this guy was a playa. He had topless chicks at his house. Okay, this guy knew what he was doing. He's still like, in fact, he might be. I think he was up on me, actually, and I'll admit that he was more of a gangster than me. At least with the women, he had a higher body count than me for sure. And I'm not hating on him either. Like, he was just cool, man. I probably sound gay or something. Like, I'm not kissing this guy's ass too much, but he really was cool. And he put on he provided one hell of a party, and I felt like I should have been nicer to that guy, and I tried to be more friendly with him. I mean, I was cool with him, but I should have, like, I don't know. But he liked me too. He did. Like, every time he saw me, he'd have a smile on his face, and he'd be like, "What's up, Scott? Man, you play." But there was this one time where, like, I something happened. I pissed him off, and like we were in this little altercation. I mean, it wasn't nothing serious. But I don't remember what it was about. Like, we were being stubborn, and it was like, I don't even remember, dude. I was like, "No, I'm not moving." And you're like, "It's my house, guy. You need to move." And I'm like, "No." I don't even know what it was about. We were just kind of, I can't remember like what it was about, but it was like a slight scoff. It wasn't anything crazy. But I do feel bad because I remember your emotional state, and you were like, "Dude, I don't know. I just feel bad." I remember I was saying it like I was talking to him. I was being too stubborn. It wasn't my house. I should have submitted to the authority of, you know what I mean? Because it is his house, so he has the authority there. And I should have submitted to that. Yeah, I should have, out of respect. You know what I mean? I should have just been like, "You're right, dude. This is your house." But I don't even remember what it was about. Oh, I feel like I disappointed him now. Like, I was supposed to let that dude like have his authority and not try to overthrow that with my like stubbornness, Yeah, he was a cool dude. And he was a straight dude too. I'm a straight dude. He was a straight dude. Yeah, he threw some wild parties. And there were topless chicks there. And I hung out with the mom, me and my little friend group. Like me and my little posse. Like me, Ryan, Jordan, dude, Blake, and we would just sit there with her. And we'd smoke weed. She hooked us up one time. We went to a concert and we couldn't get no weed. And she's like, I got y'all some weed, man. It took her an hour to break it out. She comes back with this weed that's like 100 years old. Like, the stuff, you could just touch it and it would turn to dust. But it produced a sharp sativa high. Anyway, she just gave it to us. She gave us an ounce of this weed that looked like it was 100 years old. Anyway, it was fire. We took it with us. And Melissa the Witch was there. Yeah, me and Bear and Ryan, a whole bunch of people. We went and saw System of a Down and some other crazy band. Man, there was never a dull time back then. It was like every single day was a party. Every single day was a party. Every single night we went to that house. Every single night. And we drank beer, and there was liquor. And then occasionally we'd all drive out to, dude, and it was so cool too, because it was almost like there was this VIP thing that he had going. And he would invite me and my friends. You know what I mean? Like, not everybody would go, but he would, it was like, "Come with us." And we would ride out to these apartments in Fort Walton, and they had parties going there, and we would all hang out there, and we would just hang. We'd be out in front of the apartment complex, underage, drinking, and like at his other place, we'd be out in the street. I'm baffled by how the cops they just weren't there. And that's a good thing. I mean, but looking back, it's like, wow, that's weird. Well, I don't know. That was a long time ago, though. I feel like the police department here is a lot more corrupt now than it was then. I really like talking, if anybody can't tell. I like to tell stories. I got a lot to talk about, not enough people to talk to. I'm going to start putting these out here like this. I really enjoy talking to chicks too. When I, the times I did have that, I got better at though over time. Like in my youth, like I could just make it with them. I wouldn't really even have to talk to them a lot. But as I got older and older, I got better and better at it. And now I feel like I could do the ultimate job now. Like I've never, yeah, it would be really good. Like if I took a chick on a date now, it would be like a pro, because I got then now like I'd have a trick or two up my sleeve. I'm saying I would do that right. It would be good. Like you know what I mean? I would plan it and I'd be like, I'm gonna make this bitch feel things. She's gonna have a really fucking good time. She's gonna want to go back on a third and a fourth. You know what I mean? And I would plan it. It would be cool. Whereas if I'd tried that when I was younger, I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't have a clue. I'd probably just wing it. I'd probably be like, well, we'll smoke a joint. We'll go to Wendy's. And then I'm going to take you to the beach and we'll make out. Does that sound good to you? All right, cool. Let's go. Making out is cool, ain't it? I feel bad. The Jezebel spirit is evil. I don't like it, and I want to warn all men about it. Just please avoid bad women. You need to be selective. You need to not just take what you can get. You know what I mean? You need to be selective. When a woman makes, when you have to learn how to identify the Jezebel, and you got to learn, like, when you see those traits, don't hang around, take off. You know what I mean? I hope there's some female listeners at some point. That would be cool. Yeah. I just feel bad. Like I feel guilty about a lot of stuff. I'm a communicator. I love to talk. I loved working on botanical guides. I feel like such an ass. I'm so sorry, God. I feel sorry for the way I was behaving in front of those female FBI agents. I just wish that at the time I was hoping for some more empathy. It's like, you understand what I just went through, correct? Anyway, yeah, growing up was fun. I think the most fun years that I had was like 18, 19, 20. 18, 19, 20. And even 21. We partied every single night. And we would go to Waffle House, and it was the whole crew and a whole bunch of other people too. And there was so many people there. It's like we didn't even necessarily know everybody too well. Like there was people there that we weren't really friends with, but they were acquaintances. We knew they were because we'd always seen them there, but they weren't our friends per se. And it was just really cool. Now there was a few guys that didn't mind me. But there was a lot that hated me. Particularly this one dude. He was such a dick. I'm not going to mention his name. But yeah, Mike was cool. I really liked that guy. And I respect him too. And my homie Blake, he was the shit. Yeah, he was cool as fuck. But he got this girl later on in life, and he's just like, he wasn't cool no more. It's like, what happened to you? She runs you. You used to be a cool dude. Now he's like mean and nasty and hateful and judgmental, and it's, whoa, you've changed. I hear that happens a lot. I've noticed that too over my life, and I'll hear people talking about so-and-so's got him a girlfriend again, and he's acting like a dick. Or, this new guy, and she's acting all crazy. People change each other. There's an influence too. Witchcraft. I definitely believe that I had witchcraft pulled on me with this girl. Because I can remember the particular moment when I think it was starting to work as well. And I'm pretty sure it was a full moon. and I just could sense something going on behind the scenes. Like there was metaphysical things happening that you couldn't. They weren't tangible, but you could perceive them with your third eye. You could feel the shift in the room. You could feel the spirit changing and the energy shift. You could feel it. Yeah, I love talking about all that. It's gonna. I really like being the Christian that came from all that, because it's like now the Bible is metaphysical to me. It's not boring. It's like it's metaphysical. It's like just as much occult as the occult, because I know all that and I have the Bible, and it's like, okay, now it's a complete puzzle. Now it makes complete sense. You know what I mean? Now I'm a master. I am a pro. I know how things work. There shall not be found among you anybody who's a witch. They're bad luck. They will bring the wrath of God upon you. They are a very real phenomena, and they're extremely fucking dangerous. You've been warned. Just letting you know. Just letting you know. Extremely fucking dangerous. Extreme. But that's part of what made it so thrilling, too, at the same time. It's like, damn, am I really with a witch? This is like the craziest thing I've ever done, man. Wow. It was kind of cool, man. I'm not gonna lie, it was cool as fuck. But man, did I ever pay for it? Shit. Fucking A. Still paying for it. Not really. I'm good now. Well, a little bit. Yeah. Witches. 5 witches, 5 storms, and a whole lot of fruit. I just got a lot to talk about, and not enough people to talk about it too. So I'm letting it fly. Just talking to the world out there. I've been watching some YouTubers lately as well, and they've inspired me. There's this one that I watch, and he says some wise stuff. He also flips tunes. He does music. I'm gonna recommend him. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna add one of his videos. Oh, go check out the God playlist on my YouTube, and I got him in there. I try to support other people on there. You know what I mean? Botanical Guides was an awesome project. I wanted to get my hands on lots of cool product and make some money and learn stuff too. It was a learning project, and it was like a way to make money and a way to learn and a way to have fun with code, and a way to promote entrepreneurs that I liked and respected and looked up to, and a way to network, and a way to build a resume. And I just started doing it. It was the coolest thing I've ever done. I just I'm gonna build it, and they will come. I will build it, and they will come. I didn't actually say that to myself, but it's like, I'm just going to do it. Whatever. I'm just going to do it. And I started doing it. I picked out a template, made a web page. I did all the code myself because I already know how to do that. I did it when I was a kid, and I used to hack and stuff. So I'm good with that kind of stuff. And it was awesome. The Bouncing Bear said I could use his images because I was working with him. And that was cool because I didn't have any images to use, and I didn't know what to do. I guess if I hadn't used his, I'd have just borrowed Wikipedia's, which you're allowed to do. I would have gave attribution as well, and I put a note saying, this is Wikipedia. The Wikipedia's image. But yeah, he let me use his images. But what I would do is if I ever had the opportunity to, I would take a picture of the product myself, so that I would have something on there that wasn't his. But I never, you know what I mean? I never had, I never got every single item that he sold. I never was in possession of every single one. So there was lots of items that I didn't have my own picture for, and I just used his or Wikipedia's, which you're allowed to do. You give attribution. I was an affiliate. He was a millionaire. So yeah, I had millionaires in my circle. I had this millionaire Eden's Ethnobotanicals in my circle. And you can pull up that site on the Wayback Machine, edensnotes.com, or you can go read about it on 850.news. Also, herbspedia.org is a great resource as well. It's a newer one that I'm working on. And check out botanicalguides.com on the Wayback Machine at archive.org. Yeah, it was so cool, dude. I had that website for I still have the domain name for 14 years, 15 years. I don't know, something like that. Yeah, that website was worth some serious coin, son. Serious coin. And I was getting paid from 2 millionaires. No, 3. Jeff, Sean. I wasn't getting paid from Eden, but I was affiliated with him. Damn, I did that never even clicked until 2021, really. it never really sank in that like I was working with millionaires. It's like I didn't realize that until later. I was working with millionaires. That was so cool. But I guess what I'm saying is I was a way bigger deal than I'd even realized. I was being duped and ripped off on the website was worth way more than what I was getting out of it. It was worth serious coin, but it wasn't generating what it was worth. And that's the problem with websites, and that's the real challenge. It's just not enough to have the website. It's got to rank good. I mean, it's got to, you know, when somebody types in buy Kratom, you need to show up. You need to show up high in ranking. The higher up you rank, the more money you're going to make. The closer you are to the top of the first page of Google, the more money you're going to make. It's that simple. And yeah, that's how I did it. I used a simple strategy. I would just, the title and the description would have the keywords buy whatever it was for sale. So buy Kratom for sale, free shipping. Mitragana deliciosa, nothing to it. Just make it as detailed and to the point as possible. And it just works. And then fill out the content. It's a lot of fun. I really like doing code. So yeah, doing all the HTML and putting in little code snippets and social media buttons to share the page. Let's see what else. And the buy links that I eventually turned into buttons. But when I first put them there was just a link, and it would be like buy Kratom here, and you click it, and it would take you through to Left Coast Kratom or whichever shop I'd link to for which, you know, for that particular product. That guy Jeff, his affiliate programs worked, and he was a cool dude because he actually paid me what it was worth. I was very happy. I was so happy. I was like, I felt so accomplished. It's like, finally, because I knew the value was there, but nobody wanted to do me right. And I knew it, and I kept calling. I don't know how many people I called out on it. I'm like, dude, I know what the shit's worth. And, you know, as time went on, I got more and more aggressive with it with people. I'm like, no, this shit's, dude, type this in your phone right now. You know what I mean? I'd be like, I'll show you. Type buy live Kratom plants for sale on your phone. And they do it, bam, blah. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, that is a big deal. That is like, that makes me feel like a man. I'm like, damn, I did that shit. Ooh, it just feels so good. So good. I did that shit. So, you know what I mean? Even if it was destroyed, I don't care, dude. I look at it like a trophy on the shelf. I did that shit. It was cool as fuck. And I survived it. And now I'm tougher because of it, because I survived it, because what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And I feel like we're way more of a man. I still feel like I washed on a log that went across the Atlantic Ocean onto an island, kind of dazed and confused. But I've never felt like more of a man, for sure. It's been great. And I feel like as time goes on, the evolution process it's just interesting how we change, and how it's like, I might have been bored at one point when I was young, but now it's like, you know, it makes me think like, damn, I can't believe I ever complained that I was bored. All I had to think to myself was just wait. Just wait. If you're bored, just hold on a minute. There's some fun stuff coming, buddy. It's coming. Be patient. Be patient. I really like talking. That's one thing. If I went on a date with the chick, she wouldn't be, you know, there wouldn't be no silence unless she wanted it or something. I know I could definitely entertain the bitch. In fact, I might annoy her. I might have to like tell myself like, okay, let her talk now. Yeah, I do. That's one thing I have to remind myself. But I love it when they don't talk and they're just like, no, tell me more. Like, all right, fuck yeah. But I love it even more when they talk back, when we go back and forth. And it's really interesting, and you know, I make her laugh and stuff. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna ramble on about, you know what. You're like, please don't talk about Carrie. I'm not. Let's see, what else? Yeah, botanicalguides.com. Check it out on the archive.org. Also, feel free to check out 850.news and grayhabitories.com. Scott Herman Soul Radio, 777.7 FM. Welcome. How you doing out there? I'm just chilling. I was just talking a whole lot. now I'm kind of just chilling. I think I'm gonna put this video out there. I'm gonna listen to it, see what it's like. I hope you guys enjoy. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. Much love. Praise Jesus.